might have seen in the early 2000s in Australia, we had a massive mining boom. So I'm going to give you a tip on what happens with mining towns when it comes to properties and property investing. I steer so far away from those types of investments, I actually run. I don't walk, I actually run to stay away from them. But here's what happens. You get the big mining boom going on in Western Australia, the other big mining boom went on in Queensland, and basically out come the property marketers and out come the spruikers. Go and invest in these towns because you're going to get $1,000 a week rent. There's workers coming in from all over the countryside. They've got nowhere to stay. The values will go through the roof, etc, etc. Well, it's happened in some major areas like Port Hedland in Western Australia. It's happened up in Queensland at a number of the outback mining towns that, you know, your Murrumbars and Chinchillas and all these sorts of places, Blackwater, all those sort of joints where people have gone in. They've been sucked into this marketing guise of, you know what, come and buy in here because the big boom's on and properties are going to go through the roof and you're going to make an absolute fortune. Well, some people did get in real early and some people did get out real early. It's high risk, it's high volatile, because the problem is this. If you've got a town, which is a country town of 1,000 or 2,000 people, and the only industry in that town is mining. When the big boom comes and the workers come in, well and good, it'll kick, it'll go, it'll blow, no problem. However, once the mining boom's over and the work cuts out and those workers all leave, what happens then? Property values go down, there's nobody left to rent your property, and the third thing is who you're going to now move it on and sell it to, yeah? Listen, it's high risk, you know, it's the old saying, high reward, high risk. That's what it really is. Now, I recently met a construction worker who come up and seen me after a talk I did on a building site, and true story, he bought a property in one of these mining towns 4 years ago. He paid $450,000 for this property. It was getting rented out at about $800 or $900 a week, but then lo and behold, a couple of years later, here he is, the mining boom's all but gone, the workers have all left town. His property today, and he's told me this straight out, his property today, he'd be lucky to get $250,000 for it. Now that's $450,000 4 or 5 years ago to $250,000 today. Who's renting his property? He's got it rented out for about $200 a week. Listen, don't get sucked into the hype around come in here and make a quick buck. You know, there was a town in Western Australia about 3 or 4 years ago where I think it was BHP or one of the majors was the only mine in town, and people went in and invested and practically bought the whole town out. They capped the mine, shut it down because the prices of nickel or something like that just completely went through the floor. So therefore the town was left with nothing, and all those investors are now stuck with properties that, number one, they can't resell, number two, they've gone down in value, and number three, they've got nobody left to rent them. So an area to avoid by all means is really be careful around the mining areas when those sorts of booms take off. You need to be investing in areas where there's multiple industries. They're not reliant on one specific industry, because if that industry turns and goes the other way, your investment's stuck, and then what are you going to do then? This is how people lose money, folks. Don't get sucked into the seminars, don't get sucked into the spruikers, because they're out there flogging this type of stuff. Please use your due diligence and make sure you don't get caught out. Alright, again, if you want some more help with property, financing, investing in structures, text your number to name and your email address to 0439 541 704, and we'll talk to you soon.